What if the version of you your siblings tell the family is not just a lie but a cage you are finally allowed to walk out of? Today is not about winning the family storyline. It is about reclaiming authorship so their narrative fades while your chosen character takes the headline. Most advice says confront, correct, convince. Stoicism flips it. Stop spending attention on their words. You do not need their validation to be whole. The strongest reply to sabotage is not a louder argument. Build a life organized around your principles, not their opinions. You control judgment and action. You hold power over your mind. Myth family truth is final. The goal here is to break the spell that the family version of you is reality. External narratives sit outside your control. Your judgments are yours. Treat this like a test of attention management. At a holiday dinner, your sibling retells a distorted greatest hits of your selfish phase. Someone says, "You always make it about you." The table glances over. You do not perform a defense. You run SIP 0, story stop. Breathe through 5 counts. Take a sip of water. Note the claim in a private log. If pressed, use a neutral line. Thank you for sharing. I am not discussing this here. Turn to the person next to you and ask a simple logistical question about dessert. That is a pivot, not a retreat. Scenario 2 lands in a group chat. A cousin posts a wink about your career fail. You mute the thread. Type a draft response in notes. Wait 20 minutes. Then delete. You set a personal rule to address only logistics in that channel and move anything sensitive to email with delay. Verification uses a reaction latency metric. Measure seconds from trigger to your first outward move. Aim to add 3 seconds week over week. The reminder is simple. The best revenge is to be unlike the injurer. Refuse to mirror cruelty. Choose composure. Then act on your own principles. SIP Sovereign Identity Protocol Overview. Think of SIP as an operating manual for attention. The Stoic move is to guard the mental citadel and direct energy where it compounds. Step 1 is stop the story. Interrupt rumination and public reaction. Use a 60-second neutral. Breathe 5 slow breaths. Place the phone face down. If someone tries to bait you, say, "I am not discussing this," and pivot to logistics. Step 2 is separate facts from interpretations. Open a page with 2 columns. In the first, put courtroom-level facts. In the second, put opinions and heat words. Keep your actions inside the facts column and let the other column cool on its own. Step 3 is define your virtues. Choose 3 words you will embody. For each word, pick one simple behavior you can do today. For temperance, add a 3-second pause before speaking. For justice, give credit by name. For diligence, ship one small deliverable before noon. Step 4 is author lines. Write 1-sentence identity statements that you can actually prove. Read them morning and evening. Pair each line with one tiny action that serves as evidence. Step 5 is boundary the channel. Decide the medium, cadence, and topics for contact. Keep sensitive matters in email with a delay. Mute threads that pull you into drama. Treat indifference as protection. Zero contact is a boundary, not revenge. Verification uses the authorship scorecard. Score 0 to 2 on each step per day with a maximum of 10. Review weekly and look for a rising trend rather than perfection. Stop the story. Attention is your currency. The job here is simple. Halt the urge to correct the family narrative. Deny provocateurs the reaction they want. Keep feelings private and present a neutral surface in public. Attention is the fuel source. You control where it flows. Think of this as financial discipline for the mind. Scenario. An aunt repeats a smear she heard. Your fingers move toward the phone. Instead of a rebuttal thread, you open a page titled Story Log. Write one line for what was said and one line for where and when. Set a 1-minute timer. Breathe 5 slow breaths through the nose. Let your shoulders drop. Relax the jaw. Place the phone face down and look at the nearest physical object to anchor focus. If someone asks for your side, use one neutral line. I appreciate you caring. I am not discussing this. Pivot to logistics. Do you know what time dessert starts? Then return to the conversation at hand. Private feeling and public neutrality is the rule. You are training a reflex that preserves energy for action. Why this works? A reaction is a reward. Remove the reward. The fire cools because there is no air. You keep agency because you control the only lever that matters, which is your attention. Run the 60-second neutral every time you sense bait. Use the same words. Use the same posture. Consistency builds speed. You are teaching your nervous system a predictable move that does not create new problems. Verification. Track neutrality reps. Count the number of provocations that received the neutral line without extras. At the end of each day, make a simple tally. Aim to increase the count week over week. When the rule breaks, write the better line you will use next time and rehearse it once aloud. Separate facts from interpretations. The aim is to unstick identity from rumor by labeling what is real. The Stoic move is simple. You control judgment and action. You do not control the stories others tell. Put that difference on paper so it becomes visible and actionable. Scenario. A sibling tells cousins, you quit because you cannot handle pressure. Pause. Open a notebook. Draw a vertical line to create 2 columns. Title the left column, Facts, Courtroom, Admissible. Title the right column, Interpretations, Opinions, and Language Tells. Under Facts, you write, I resigned on a specific date after raising concerns about toxic practices. I accepted an offer that aligned with health and ethics. I shipped 2 projects in the first 90 days. Under Interpretations, you write, cannot hack it, and always bails and drama. Now circle only items you can influence. Facts are where you act. You can document results. You can publish a portfolio page. You can send a concise update to stakeholders. You cannot force cousins to replace their story. That belongs in the interpretation column and stays there to cool off. Add a quick test for future claims. Can this be proven in a courtroom? If yes, it goes in facts. If not, it goes in interpretations. Keep the tone dry. No color words. No mind reading. Verification uses a weekly interpretation to fact ratio. Count the lines you wrote in the interpretation column and divide by the count in the facts column. Target less than 0.5. The score should fall over time as more of your attention moves to building observable outcomes. Define your virtues, 3 words. Anchor identity to chosen virtues rather than a role assigned by family. Character is a stack of repeated choices. Pick 3 words to govern the next week. Use the three-word North Star. Choose justice and diligence and temperance. Write each word at the top of an index card and keep the card in your pocket. Assign one observable behavior to each word. For temperance, pause 3 seconds before speaking when bait appears. For justice, name contributors in email and in the room. For diligence, ship one meaningful task before noon. Small actions compound and make labels irrelevant. Scenario 1. Kitchen table after a tense call. A snide comment floats in from the hallway. You inhale and count 3. You answer in a level tone. Thank you for the note. I will circle back after dinner. You finish washing dishes and send the draft you plan to ship. Identity follows behavior, not rumor. Scenario 2. Team chat at work. A colleague hints that you dropped the ball. You write a short reply that contains one fact and one credit. Status report is in the shared folder, and thanks to the assistant for the checklist. You then complete the next deliverable before lunch and log it on your card. Run a nightly virtue tally. 1 checkmark per virtue if you executed the behavior that day. Aim for at least 15 checks out of 21 by the end of the week. If a box stays empty, shrink the behavior until it is doable on your worst day. The metric is simple. Fewer labels. More proof. Author lines. Rewrite the self-description. The aim is to replace inherited labels with short statements you can prove. Speak only what you know is true about you. Then live it on repeat. Take the old label, the irresponsible sibling. Replace it with an author line, I keep promises to my principles and my calendar. The test is simple. Can you show evidence this week? Use one-line identity. Write one sentence for each virtue you chose earlier. Keep the lines plain and measurable. Read them in the morning and at night. Pair each line with one concrete act that backs it. If the line says, I show up on time, then set one alarm and arrive 5 minutes early. If the line says, I practice temperance, then add a 3-second pause before speaking. Scenario 1. Calendar open on Sunday night. You slot 6 deliverables with clear owners and dates. During the week, you ship each one on time. When a relative fishes for gossip, you decline and move the conversation to logistics. You handle a conflict privately with a short call and a written summary. No spectacle. Evidence goes in your log. Delivered 6 items on schedule. Conflict handled off stage with a clean note. Scenario 2. Workday morning. You review author lines aloud. You pick one proof act for the day. Send follow-up draft by noon. When someone throws a side remark about reliability, you answer with a single fact. The file is in the shared folder. Then you return to the task and finish it. Verification uses a proof log. Write one line of evidence per day. Keep it observable and dry. By the end of the week, you want 7 lines that support your identity statements. In a weekly review, delete any line you cannot prove and shrink the author line until it matches what you can deliver every day. Boundary the channel designing contact and indifference. Turn sovereignty into space you can hold. Indifference is power. Removal is protection. Use channel rules to decide where and how contact happens so you stop paying attention tax to drama. Channel rules have 3 parts. Choose the medium. Choose the cadence. Choose the topics. Write the rules once. Share only what is needed. Enforce them without heat. Scenario 1. Open the family group chat. Mute the thread for 30 days. Add a calendar reminder to review at the end. During the mute window, you respond only to logistics. Time, place, items needed. When a cousin posts a dig, you do not reply in chat. You send a short text to the host confirming arrival at 6 and bring a salad. Then you put the phone away and return to your task. Scenario 2. Move sibling communication to email with a 48-hour delay. Create a canned response. Thank you. I will review and respond within 2 days. Draft your reply in notes. Wait a full day. Read once for facts and remove heat words. Send a short decision or a request for a single action with a clear date. Add a violation rule. If someone breaks the boundary twice by baiting or going off topic, you block or route to a different channel. You are not punishing. You are protecting the conditions for a sane life. Verification uses boundary adherence %. At the end of the week, count kept rules versus broken rules. Divide kept by total. Aim for a rising percentage and a quieter mind. Transmute the wound. Build where they tried to break you. The goal is to turn the attack point into strength. The Stoic move is to use the obstacle as material. If they smear your professional credibility, do not argue. Build proof. Start with the attack to asset map. Write the wound in 1 sentence. They say you are not credible at work. Define the capacity you will master. You choose client results and visible execution. Set a 90-day sprint with weekly checkpoints. Plan the sprint in a single page. Week 1, collect current baselines. Capture 3 artifacts that exist today. A rough portfolio. 1 old note from a client. A shipped item with unclear scope. This is your before set. Then layout cadence. Daily 1 hour of skill practice. Weekly 1 shipped deliverable with a public link. Bi-weekly 1 testimonial request with a short form. Run the work in quiet. You are not performing for relatives. You are stacking visible outcomes. Scenario 1. Morning desk session. You complete a certification exam. You upload the badge to your portfolio. You add a clear case note that reads, delivered within scope and on time. Scenario 2. Afternoon call with a client. You ask a single closing question. What would make this a win by Friday? You deliver the item and request a 2-line testimonial. Keep a before-after evidence board. Day 0 shows 3 artifacts. Day 90 shows 3 stronger artifacts. A certificate. 2 client quotes with names removed. A project page with scope dates and results. Review the board each week. Ask 1 question. What can I add next week that is both useful and public? Results make their story irrelevant by contact with reality. Family truth is final, and your only hope is to correct the record. Counter. Family truth is just a story. You regain authorship when you stop feeding it attention and choose conduct that does not copy the injurer. Breathe. Note the claim in a private log. Offer 1 neutral line. I am not discussing this. Then redirect focus to the next useful action on your list. Character crowds out rumor when results accumulate in silence. Process note. Use a 3-item scorecard to keep this human. Pain performance test. Did you speak or text to win approval instead of solve the problem? Boundary protocol test. Did you set medium cadence and topic and stick to it for one day? Artifact proof test. Did you add one item to a private folder that shows lived values? Pass 2 of 3 and you are off the family stage and back at the writing desk. The SIP sprint. Day 1, run story stop, and the 60-second, neutral and log, reaction, latency in seconds. Day 2, make a facts and interpretations page and circle only controllables. Day 3, choose 3 virtues and assign 1 daily act to each. Day 4, write author lines and do 1 matching act. Day 5, state channel rules, share if needed and enforce. Day 6, build an attack to asset map and schedule the first skill session. Day 7, review your authorship scorecard from 0 to 10 and set a weekly cadence. Tracking, keep a 1-page authorship scorecard and a proof log photo folder and review both every Sunday. Your sibling story is loud because it feeds on your attention. Withdraw the fuel. Build the life. Let quiet excellence carry your name farther than any family rumor ever will. The cracked mirror on the desk stays as a reminder. You do not need a new mirror. You need a new author. If this gave you tools, save it. Share it with someone facing family betrayal. Comment author, not audience, so others know where you stand.